Go.
Good evening. It's April 13th, 2025, Palm Sunday, and I'm with the superhero, also known as the humble hero of World War II, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today?
Good, I'm good.
You're looking well.
Oh, yeah.
Are you warm enough?
Oh, yeah.
Did your frostbite bother you last night?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can do something about that, but that's been going on for 80 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're feeling pretty good today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're on the fourth chapter of your book, the second time around. This is when you first met Anne Mahoney in Owensboro, Kentucky. We'll read that. And also we'll discuss a little bit about the purpose of your book. So, Mr. Jeckovich was in Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Today's a gift, right?
Right.
Like always, I get dozens of text messages. Where can they buy your book and how much?
It's not for sale.
Was never intended to be for sale. Money's not the issue. Mr. Jeckovich has plenty. This book was about helping the young generation have maybe an easier and simple life. Learn from Mr. Jeckovich's stories. His mind is like a library. There's all kinds of beautiful things in this book that sends a lot of good messages. And many things that you'll learn with old age is your friends, no matter how close, will disappear within time. Older you get, the less friends you have because they're all gone. The most important relationship in this entire world is the one you have with yourself. So true. No one cares about how hard you work. Washing machines work hard. They just look at the results. Very important. Heartbreak and failures are just part of life, right?
Yeah.
Heartbreak and failures. Family and money matter the most when you get old. Book is indeed a person's best friend. You love books now?
Yeah.
And you loved books as a boy.
Yeah.
Weren't you on one type of club? What was the club you were on?
What's that?
What club were you on with books when you were a kid?
Book of the Month Club.
Yeah, and you got all good books every week, right?
Yeah.
Wow. You had a little secret there. You had to beat your mother to the mailbox, right?
Yeah.
Because she didn't want you reading books.
Yeah, she wouldn't allow me to pay for it.
Yeah, and so what'd you do with your book? When you got, you hid it?
Stick it underneath the bed.
She never found them?
No.
Wouldn't it be wonderful today if kids were like Mr. Jeckovich, or they're reading books, 1, 2, 3 books a week? It would be really a beautiful thing. Physical activity reduces stress. Wasting time in regretting and crying won't fetch you results. Whatever you want today won't matter to you tomorrow. Your decisions define your life. Childhood is the golden time. Well, we talked many times about your childhood. You had a beautiful childhood.
Yeah.
You worked at SS Kresge?
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
A stock boy.
And then your mother worked at the deli upstairs, right?
Yeah, downstairs the cook, yeah.
What was it called? Not a deli. What was it called? A cafeteria?
Downstairs, upstairs the cafeteria,
Okay.
yeah.
And your mother did all the cooking.
Yeah.
And then she would make you a nice lunch, but she told you...
Downstairs and don't make a mess. Down in the basement, don't make a mess.
It was interesting when you fast forward, when you're in the war, when you're in basic training, you're in SS Kresge's in one of those basic training camps in that town, and you were able to eat at the counter, right?
Yeah.
It felt kind of weird, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you worked SS Kresge's. What else did you do?
Before I got in the Army,
Yeah, what else?
I worked for Crosdale.
What'd you do there?
I worked with my uncle Andy.
Your Uncle Andy, even though He had a third grade education. He was basically a genius.
Yeah.
He knew everything about cutting corners and algebra.
Yeah.
He was the one that kept Croisdale's going, right?
Yeah.
And what did Croisdale's make?
What do they make?
Yeah.
They sent them out on jobs on factories put in dust collecting systems.
So you had a pretty inside view of these factories.
Yeah.
You didn't like many of them, did you?
I've seen every factory in Buffalo and Niagara Falls.
And what'd you think of them?
Some of them are good, some are clean. The one I worked in was clean.
How about carbon?
Carbon was you get the stuff on your face, arms, you can't get it off.
Is that what happened to you when you worked there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wear a mask in your face and mouth.
So what else did you do? You had a newspaper route. Tell us about that.
150 papers, Janet Wasicki.
That's a Polish paper.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And weren't you an usher?
I was an usher in the show, yeah.
Yeah. And what was the name of the shows, or the theaters, I should say?
Strand and Cataract.
And a couple Greek brothers owned them?
Yeah.
Were they good bosses?
Oh, yeah.
They're good people, yeah. Wow. Did we miss anything before?
No, they were good.
Did you ever park cars?
Did I ever park cars? No, I never did that, no.
Were you ever a golf caddy?
For a while, but I didn't like it.
Well, tell me why you didn't like it.
Well, I carried a big bag all the time.
And how were the customers? Were they
Customers, well, it was at the aristocratic golf course, and they were all snooty.
Snooty, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing why so many people, even though they dislike the sport, think they become some type of upper class person by going to a golf course.
Yeah.
It's been going on since the beginning of time. It still goes on today. It's actually laughable. It's actually laughable. What else did you do before you went into service?
Well, I worked around the house.
Oh, boy, your mother must have kept you busy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what kind of things were you able to do around the house? What kind of work were you able to do?
Well, we finished the molding all, sanded it down, varnished it up, slacked it down.
Still there today?
Oh, yeah.
Still in perfect shape today?
I don't know. I haven't seen it for a while.
But your mother was pretty pleased with your work, right?
Yeah.
Who taught you how to do all this carpentry work?
I guess myself.
Self-taught?
I got someone from my uncle, Andy.
Yeah. But basically self-taught?
Yeah.
Did you do electrical work around the house?
Yeah.
Did you do plumbing work around the house?
I was it, but I didn't like it.
That was the area you didn't like the most, was plumbing, right?
Yeah.
Did you do roofing work?
I've been on a roof, yeah.
And what did you do on the roof?
Tore the old roof down, put the new roof up.
That must have been a major job.
Yeah, it's not, in the summertime it's bad.
Wow. Why'd you change the roof? Was there signs of leakage, or you just thought it was time?
No, I was there 30 years. You could see the shingles were all warped up.
And how long did that job take?
About a month.
Wow. Did you put a mansard roof on the front of the house?
Yeah.
How was that? How was that job? A big job?
That was a big job, yeah. Took me all summer.
Did you put in big, long picture windows in the top floor and the second floor?
Yeah, well, my brother gave them from Pittsburgh plate glass, and I put them in.
Yeah. Weren't they really thick pieces of glass?
Yeah.
But how did they get there? How were they shipped to your house?
In the truck.
And they were packed really good, I take it.
Yeah, they were all packed up well.
And they were very heavy.
There wasn't a regular truck, it was a moving truck.
And they were very heavy.
Yeah.
Wow. And who installed them?
I did.
That must have been a big job. Didn't you have to cut the hole in the wall first?
I had to make it bigger because the window was larger than the opening of the window there now.
And you must have to have a precise measurement, because if you didn't, it would flop, it wouldn't fit, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to do that?
Put the window in? About 2 weeks.
Wow. Did it ever leak?
No, never leaked, no.
It kept the cold from coming in?
Yeah.
Wow. You did the downstairs too?
Yeah.
Did you also put all new sidewalks in the house?
Oh, sidewalks around the house, yeah.
But didn't your father, who was a cement mason, teach you how to do that?
Oh, yeah, I went to jobs with him all the time.
Yeah, you did the cement with him, you learned. But didn't one of the neighbor kids write their name or walk in their cement job?
There was a kid next door come running through it.
And what'd he do, just didn't know?
And he didn't know.
And so he had to redo the whole thing?
Well, I had to patch up all the holes he made.
Well, did he have his shoes on?
Huh?
Did he have his shoes
Oh,
on?
yeah, he just running through it. He didn't know it was wet.
His shoes must have been ruined.
Yeah, a young kid, 10, 11 years old.
He didn't know, his shoes must have got ruined.
Yeah.
Wow. And were you able to clean it up nice?
Oh, yeah.
And all those cement jobs you did you ever put your initials on any of it?
On the corner I did, yeah.
Where's that now? Of what's the corner of where? Where would it be located?
On the houses I did.
How about the fronts? How about Orleans Avenue? Where'd you put your initials there?
On the corner of the cement.
So that would be the driveway on the street side?
Yeah.
And you just put JJ?
Yeah, I just put in a real small list.
Do you think it's still there today?
Well, the sidewalks will be there.
Wow. Didn't you have a great big tree in front?
Yeah, we took that tree down, yeah.
Was it causing a lot of problems?
Well, in the wintertime, there was a heavy storm.
Oh, yeah. Wow. What other type of work did you do there?
In the house,
Did you do carpet?
carpets.
Did you do flooring? Did you build
I
kitchen cabinets?
put tile in the bathroom,
Wow, that must have
the
been
floor,
a big
and
job.
the ceiling, and the walls.
That must have been a big job. That house was built in 1935, and I imagine you're doing the remodeling in the 1960s or 70s.
Yeah.
That must have been a big job. Did you install the washer in the house?
The what?
Did you install the washer in the house? A washer?
I had the washer I had in the laundromat, so I put it in the house.
Was it pump or gravity fed?
Gravity fed.
You wouldn't do pump, right?
No.
Why does someone do a pump?
Well, because it's costly. It's more, well, you can put it on the floor. I had to raise this up 2 feet to get the gravity.
So the water would flow out.
Yeah.
Flow out strongly
Yeah,
and smoothly, right? Wow. Did you build that carport yourself?
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
About a summer.
You had an interesting story about that carport and your neighbor. Tell us what happened.
The carport?
Yeah, Phoenix wanted you to drive her to City Hall.
Oh, she says that, can you take me down? Somebody turned you in. I want to know who it was, and it was her turning me in.
So the neighbor lady turned you in because she thought a half inch might have been encroaching on her airspace.
On her property, yeah.
On her airspace of the property, to the roof, airspace. And then she had the nerve to say, hey, could you drive me down there? I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And she was the one
Yeah.
that created the problem.
Yeah, sneaky, yeah.
Did you drive her home?
Yeah, I brought her home, but they never told. I never told that she did it.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of nerve.
Yeah.
And
Well, neighbors are a pain in the ass.
yeah, you had them on both sides there.
Yeah.
What did the one lady do in the basement of the Casamentals? What did they?
She had the stupid dogs down there.
And she would do what to the dogs?
Groom them.
So hair all over the place.
And then she opened the window, and I told my mother, don't open that window on your side because she puts the fan in there, you can get all the stick in your house.
So it's only a couple feet away from your mother's bedroom window, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that was blocking was a skinny sidewalk. And she would sit in the basement smoking all day, right?
Yeah.
And then she would be Pepsi's, remember?
Yeah.
And then she'd be cutting the poodles and hair would be flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And so as a result, your mother couldn't open a window.
Yeah.
Wow. That wasn't a very respectable neighbor.
No, the neighborhood was not great, no.
How about on the other side, you had a guy you worked with. Do you remember his name? He was in the White House.
Yeah, on the other side, yeah.
He was a Polish guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bolinski?
No, Belinsky was on that side. No, Belinsky, yeah.
Was he a good neighbor?
Yeah.
He was a good neighbor?
Belinsky?
Yeah.
No, he was crabby all the
Always
time.
complaining?
Yeah. He's the one who put me 3 feet away from his house and put the whole place on the front so they had the large lawn.
So let me understand, he bought 2 lots, and he, instead of using the lot farthest away, he put the lot closest to your house.
Yeah, 3 feet away.
I wonder why he did that.
Well, he wanted a big lawn in the front.
Oh. Didn't you have an incident with him when a piece of metal or something fell on his house when you were working?
No, we were putting, Tom and I were working on the side of the house, and I said, be careful. This clown's got, Belinsky's got aluminum shingles on his house, it'd be dented shingles. We got to tell him about it, and I just said, Tom, turn a piece of 2x4, hit the shingle. I said, well, go over and tell him right now.
Oh my God. And what did he say?
And he come out and said, you better fix that because I don't want any rain coming in, and he damaged my whole house.
Rain coming in.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
The guy came down the next day, put it in, never noticed it
Was damaged. How about that guy behind you, Jeckovich? Was he a good neighbor?
Oh,
Jeckovich.
well, I used to talk to my father all the time.
Yeah?
They got in the alley, talk all the time.
So they got along pretty good?
Yeah.
Wow. When you were a boy, there wasn't many houses on that street. How many you think?
I was about 3 houses.
3
The
houses?
street wasn't paved. You could look from my house and see the definition dairy in the pool on High Park.
Wow. Was there a lot of trees on the street?
No trees?
Yeah.
No, they cut them all down when they put the houses in.
Oh, wow. But you had a big tree in your front lawn.
Yeah.
And when you were a boy, and there was only 3 or 4 houses on the street, did you see a lot of raccoon, rabbits, and deer?
No, I saw a couple of deer walking around, but raccoons maybe once in a while. But they all chased out because they don't live around congestion.
Right. And how was the creek looking when you were a boy?
A street?
The creek.
The creek?
Yeah.
Creek was, you could see the creek, but after a while the shrubs grew up, about you couldn't see the creek at all.
Because the city stopped.
They used to cut that every week.
And they just let it grow, so
Yeah,
basically the weeds covered over the street, the creek, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. Did you walk to Hyde Park to go swimming?
Yeah. I took a shower in there back at the golf course. I went back to all the time taking a shower.
So when you were home on leave from the Army, you would go to Hyde Park to take a shower, right?
Yeah.
Did they have hot water?
Oh, yeah, but the guys coming off the golf course wanted hot water.
But what reason why you wouldn't take a shower at your house?
Well, we didn't have a shower in then.
Okay. Okay.
I put a shower in afterward down cellar.
After a while.
Yeah.
I see. So you only had bathtubs there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So how long did it take you to get to Hyde Park?
What, driving?
Oh, you used to drive there?
Oh, yeah, an old car.
What kind of car was
It
it?
was a Plymouth.
Wow, that's nice. And you also had a Packard.
Oh, the Packer stayed in the house.
Yeah.
They didn't drive till Stevie come home and drove every day then.
The Packard, if anyone knows this or not, had a beautiful hood ornament on the Packards in the day. And there were great big monster hood ornaments made out of chrome. And a lady holding her hand out right with a disc in it. And that was named the Goddess of Speed. And Packard was the first company that came out with a straight steel 8-cylinder. And from that, Cadillac took the idea and started going with the straight 8s.
2 minutes.
And was the Packard automatic or manual?
Oh, it was manual.
Manual. On the column?
On the column, yeah.
Didn't you once have a Ford Maverick?
I had a Maverick, yeah.
How was that? A good car?
That was good. I learned Delphi on that. Well, no, she learned on a Volkswagen.
But that car was really reliable, right?
Yeah,
And that was a manual.
that was manual
On
too,
steering
yeah,
wheel.
yeah.
Wow. I think all your cars were manual, right?
Yeah, there was no automatic then, no. And we could buy them, but they were expensive.
Yeah, but I don't think too many kids today could drive a manual.
No,
I mean, the joke amongst car dealers is you want your best safety precaution, you want your best alarm system, don't want to have your car stolen. Buy a car with a manual transmission, because the kids today don't know how to steal
yeah,
them.
they don't know how to start it up.
Can't even drive them, right? Can't even drive
Yeah.
them. Back then in New York, and they still do today, they had front and rear license plates, right?
Yeah,
And they also had to put inspection stickers
safety inspector.
on your window.
Yeah,
When you went to get these, I never went to an inspection station in my life because I don't really know nothing about it. But when you went to these inspection stations, was there number one, was there a long wait to get your car inspected?
no, they just gave it a ticket.
And then what will they do? Check for what?
They checked the brakes and checked the lights, rear lights and the front lights.
And
that
then
was
if it wasn't working properly, they'd fix it for you, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Didn't you one time when you went skiing with your family have troubles with an inspection sticker?
yeah, because I didn't have the sticker on.
But wasn't that a rental car?
Yeah, it was a rental car. I asked her when I went, I said, you're going to put a sticker on? I said, you don't need one.
And did you need one?
Oh, yeah, well, the guy that checked me in at the place we stayed at,
Wait, was that Chestnut Ridge?
yeah, he didn't.
Checked you in,
Yeah, he
right?
turned me in.
So the guy working the attendant, when you paid for parking, before you went to skiing, he called the cops or the state police of New York and said, this guy
Doesn't have a sticker.
doesn't have a sticker. So then what happened?
Well, they waited outside till I got outside the state limit.
Did you think something was suspicious when they're waiting?
Yeah, I said, what's that car? It was 10 o'clock at night. He's waiting until I get off the property.
And what happened once
Well, the
you...
minute I got on the highway, he called, pulled me over.
Oh, man. So he waited for you for all that time.
Yeah,
But you were suspicious something was up.
yeah.
And then when you got the ticket, what'd you have to do from then?
I had to go back to the city hall in that small town there and talk to the judge there and said, well, we're going to get you people are infringing our laws here. You're not doing according to our laws.
Wow.
I said, I didn't know about the sticker.
Yeah.
I thought the sticker was on. Well, I could have seen the sticker on right there driving.
Did the rental company finally reimburse you?
No,
So you had to go to court how many times?
3 or 4 times. That went on for about a month. The judge was deaf and blind.
Sounds like most of them today. Judges, what a bunch of losers. But anyways, so he said he was going to make an example out of you.
Yeah.
Didn't he care that the rental company was responsible? And you brought
I
it to
told him, I
him?
said, well, that's no excuse.
No excuse.
I told him when I called, I said, you got to put a ticket on there. I said, you don't need it.
And so the rental company, did they reimburse you for all the fines and time?
No, I went back there and they said, well, we're sorry about that. It was an oversight on our part.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't go back to court or nothing. I had to go back to court.
They had to go.
They didn't come with me.
6 minutes.
Wow.
They didn't come with me.
Wow, so you missed a lot of days of work.
Yeah,
It cost you a lot of money.
yeah.
Wow. Didn't you special order a beautiful International Crew Cab truck? At one time, a big white truck?
Yeah,
And you modified that into a snowing plow truck?
yeah.
That made you a lot of money, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I put the towel plow in the front, yeah.
And that was a four-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive, but I had to lock the key wheels in.
Locked the hubs up front. And what kind of snow plow did you put on it?
Put the Myers on.
A Myers plow, which is probably the best plows they ever made.
Yeah.
Was it a big yellow one?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're noted for that trademark of yellow. I'll bet you that snowplow itself is still out there today working.
yeah.
Because they don't go bad.
Controls are on the dashboard.
Yeah, they don't go bad. What you do is you change a hydraulic or a hydraulic pump or piston every 20 years, and it goes for 20 years more.
Yeah,
So maybe this winter it plowed.
yeah.
And was that truck very reliable?
Oh yeah, that international, that was the best thing I ever had. I could work on it. There was no hot piece stuff, but you put the hood up, it was all, you could see millions of wires in there.
There's so much room in there, you could jump in there and work.
Yeah.
But you were way before your time, because back in the late 50s and early 60s, no one ever heard of a crew cab.
No.
You special ordered it. Only thing you seen back then were single cabs, no such thing as crew cabs. But now today, step outside for a minute, and everything you see is crew cab.
Yeah, and then the four-wheel drive.
And four-wheel drive. And you were before your time, weren't you?
Well,
How'd the heat work in that thing?
it was good. Better than the Volkswagen.
How was the heat in the Volkswagen?
Well, you had to go 90 miles down to get the heat up.
Yeah, because the heat would generate from the engine.
Yeah.
Didn't you have one time with that Volkswagen, it started taking off on its own?
Yeah, I had it parked in front of the store, and I thought I put it in gear. And I looked out the store, I said, what happened to the car? Where's the car? And I looked out the window, and the police had it cordoned off in the middle of the street with a news flagger on it. The starting motor started that car up and started jacking over.
Yeah, a starting motor would engage, and then if it was in gear, it would just creep out into wherever it wanted to go. Yeah, wow. That's something. And didn't you have another car, like the Maverick? That was automatic. That was manual.
The manual too, yeah.
That was a good, reliable car, wasn't it?
Yeah, Delphine liked that car, yeah. She liked that Green Hornet we had.
Wow, yeah, the Green Hornet was a 1964 International Travelall.
Yeah.
And here's another question, here's another observation. You were before your time, because in early 60s, if you didn't special order from international company an SUV, you never seen one.
Yeah.
Everything back then was simply cars, and cars.
Yeah.
And so you were before your time. You never, rarely, I think the only one we seen was your SUV. And then the people would, because it was so big of an SUV, and there was something that no one's seen before, that they nicknamed it the Green Hornet and the Green Monster.
Yeah.
And how was that car? Reliable?
Reliable, yeah. Best car we had. Best truck too.
Yeah. Was that automatic or manual?
Manual.
2 minutes.
What? Was that two-wheel drive?
Four-wheel drive. When you put the hubs in, you had to put the hubs in there.
So that was a nice vehicle.
Yeah.
Is that the one you took camping?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Had a hitch on the back.
Yeah.
Put the trailer on. That small trailer, the camping stuff we had.
And was that engine there again easy to work on?
Well, I could do some of it. I couldn't do a lot of it.
But there was a lot of room in the engine compartment.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Which one did your wife, Delphine Stulak Jeckovich, enjoy driving the most?
The green one.
The Green Monster?
Yeah.
The Green Hornet? Minutes, please.
Minute 30.
And she really did pretty good with that.
Oh yeah. Took the kids to school.
A lot of room.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you say take the kids to school. That was a chore in itself. Back in the early 60s and 50s, the mother would drive the kid to school in the morning, go at noon and pick them up and bring them home for lunch. There was no such thing as school lunches. And then the kid would eat and watch Bewitched or Dick Van Dyke.
At 1 o'clock they had to go back to school.
1 o'clock, the wife would drive him back, and then turn around at 3 o'clock to bring him home.
Yeah.
So the wives back then were great homemakers, but they really didn't have the time to even have a job.
To do anything, yeah.
To do anything.
Yeah.
Could you imagine asking a housewife today to do all that back and forth?
Yeah, they wouldn't be fortunate enough not to do it.
But I think they have all school lunches now.
Yeah.
But back then there wasn't such a thing.
Not like they have it today.
Yeah. Minutes?
30 seconds.
So did you ever have any mechanical troubles with that car?
No.
Did it ever break down on Delphine?
No.
Did you ever have any mechanical troubles with your big white international truck?
No, we used to take it. We used to get it for a checkup with Buffalo.
And
They didn't
everything,
have an international dealer in the falls.
wow. You did good with it then,
Yeah.
All right.
did that?